Good evening, good evening, good evening. Surprise. But honestly, I thought, given the occasion of tomorrow, and we will be having a bit of a live stream tomorrow. Probably everyone else and the UK. Everyone else in the UK is probably going to be having a live stream tomorrow. If they've got a YouTube channel tomorrow evening, the bandwidth problems maybe in the UK might be quite severe. Who knows? It honestly does feel like that might be the case. Hopefully not, and we won't have any problems. But hey, we wait to see to find out. But there you go. Anyway, good evening, everyone in the chat. Like I say, this is a very impromptu, quick, a live stream that we're doing today. I don't know how long we're going to go for, but we'll just see how we're going to go. We are going to have a look at some of the polls and some of the maps, the predictions that are coming out. So we'll be seeing what we've got tomorrow to look at, but it's going to be interesting because there's quite a few already. And I don't know if you've seen. Let me get it up. Hang on, get rid of that. We go on here. So. Let's get this. So this is Threads from UK Politics News. Very good Threads website to follow, by the way. If you are on Threads, definitely someone to follow. Michael Warner, someone can vote in your place, but I can't remember exactly what the rules are. Might be worth having a look on the Electoral Commission website, but then we'll see. Helen, yeah, we'll be spoilt for choice. Honestly, you are going to be spoilt for choice tomorrow. Absolutely, going to be the case on this. Dave W, you've missed the start. Don't worry. Don't worry. We're only 7 minutes in, so we haven't been going long at all. Vendetta, good evening to you. Craig, good evening to you. Gary Arnold, good evening to you. Thomas Bell, good evening to you. Oren Knight, good evening to you as well. Good evening to everyone watching us. Like I say, here's one of the polls. I think this is the last one. Yeah, so this is Delta Poll's last one for the pre-GE. This is voting intention. So they've got Labour on 39%, Conservatives on 22%, Reform on 17%, Lib Dems on 10%, Greens on 7%, SNP on 2%. Oh yeah, this is what we've been hearing all day. Sam Coates saying that the Tories think it could be even worse than a 212 majority for Labour. He has said that several Tories advisors are expecting the Tories to fall below 100 seats. God, I hope so. God, I hope so. This is the new seat one from YouGov. They're predicting Labour between 391 to 466. And then Conservatives between 78 and 129. I've said, I think many times when people have asked me what I think it will be, I think it will be between 80 80 and 120. I think that's roughly where it's going to be. That's my prediction. If you want my prediction, that's what it's going to be. I've said this before. I think that's what it's roughly going to possibly be. Here's a question. If the Lib Dems do become the party of opposition, can we build a literal naughty step in the Commons for the Conservatives? Well, I I'm sure the Conservatives, the Lib Dems would love to do that. I'm sure they would love to do that. Craig, expectation management potentially, of course, but they've screwed that up before. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I think you've been hearing a lot of expectation management. They've been saying, "Oh, we're going to get less than 100 seats," and then if they somehow manage to get all that, they can come out and cope really hard how they did better than expected. um, yeah. Lofty, I'd vote for the devil himself to get the Tories out. I think there's a lot of people who feel the same. I think there's a lot of people who would feel the same. Absolutely on that one. Lib Dems between 57 87. They're already looking at being potentially, could be, how tomorrow goes. The Lib Dems could be the main part of the opposition. Please, voting Jesus, polling Jesus, please, for the love of God, for all that is, Poly, holy, and Westminstery, the Holy Trinity. Please, let that be serious. Yeah, or a night. But no, seriously, if the Lib Dems do get opposition, what are the chances of seeing PR getting a kickstart? Oh, absolutely. The Lib Dems are going to push hard, and I think even not Rory Stewart. Oh, Alistair Campbell. That's it. Even Alistair Campbell said this week as well, that next week PR is going to be on everyone's minds. I think this general election could start a lot of conversations about PR. So PR is not over. It is still there. It is still very much in front of people's minds. So it is all about campaigning for it. Oh, countdown to power. Good evening to you. Writing a new script. Well, whatever you do, don't try. Don't try and predict something, because who knows what could happen tomorrow. We'll see. But back to this. SNP between 8 and 34 seats. Reform between 0 and 14 seats. PLC, I think that's Plaid Cymru between 1 and 4. And Green between 1 and 4 as well. Where is it? This is it. Yeah. This is some serious coping on this. Breaking. Rishi Sunak has confided to members of his inner circle that he is fearful of losing his Yorkshire constituency of Richmond and Northallerton at the election, The Guardian has reported. I hope tomorrow, when we're doing Portillo Geddon, when we're doing this tomorrow, God, I hope he's one of them we get to cross off. I really do hope tomorrow he is one we get to cross off. I really genuinely cannot wait. But yes, I am ready. I am ready. Here is Portillo Geddon for you all. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Oh. Or night. Wait, do we get to kick Galloway out tomorrow? Potentially Galloway could go as well. That is something that could happen. That is something that could happen as well. That is a possibility. I really hope we do get rid of Galloway. Because the last thing, honestly, you want him in isn't for another 4 years. I mean, given the fact he's hardly shown up, in Parliament. It would be nice to see the back of him. And I low-key hope that Jezza loses too. God. You know what? I'd love to see it too, just for the fact that I know there would be people crying about it almost instantly that news comes out, and we'll be crying about it for the next 4 years. But bear in mind, they've already been crying about it for that long. Honestly, Double Down News is going to be an absolute absolute disaster mode if that happens. Oh, and not the that's something we've got to do at some point. We've got to infiltrate not the Andrew Marr show at some point. That could be fun. that could be very, very fun. Would be a bit wacky, but it could be very fun. Could be very, very fun to do. But let's have a look at some of these maps that we've actually got that have come in. So this is the one from YouGov. Yeah, you know what Harry Hill would say in that situation? Fight. Oh, absolutely. But anyway, yeah, this is YouGov. Let's see what YouGov has to say. We'll get rid of that. Tory seat would be a record low. And then this is the map. So they're predicting, this is YouGov, they are predicting Labour 431. That would give them a 229 majority. Conservatives would be 102. I would not be surprised to see that, by the way. I think 102, as I've said, I think Conservatives going to be 120 between 80. I think that's where they're going to end up. Lib Dems with 72. That will be very good for them as well. SNP on 18. Reform on 3. Plaid on 3. And Green on 2. So that, of course, is the map. But yeah, they're still predicting though that although that looks like it might be a close race, that could be a very close race there, because that is Labour on 31, Reform on 33. So Ashfield might be a very, very close race. That could be a very close race on that. That could be a very, very close race. That's for sure in that seat. I do hope he loses, to be honest, because, again, someone else we could do with losing. And where else is interesting? Oh, yeah, Bristol Central, the Greens are going to win, but they're going to be surrounded by Labour. That will be interesting for Carla Dennis, I'm sure. Clacton, unfortunately, Reform on 40%. I've done videos about this. I've said this before. It could be entirely likely we could see Nigel Farage in Parliament. And don't get me wrong, that will be bad. That will be really, really bad. However, there is a silver lining to this. Don't panic if Nigel should win, because Nigel at that point would become an MP. So that means things like, oh, I don't know, his financial information has to be made public. And it has been rumored for a long time just how much of a kept man Nigel Farage is by a lot of millionaires and billionaires like Aaron Banks. So that immediately would have to stop. Not only that, but there are rules he would have to follow. He cannot just go, you know, do whatever the hell he wants. He cannot. There are rules. And sooner or later, Farage is going to break those rules, and he is going to be sitting in a parliament that would absolutely love to get rid of him. So make no mistake, Nigel Farage's time in parliament could be very, very short. I do not think he will survive a full term. I do not think he will survive a full term at all. But it will make, as we've said before, the Tory civil war very, very interesting. That is for sure. That is very, very, very sure. Yes. Here's the other thing the Tories are worried about. This is all London. In fact, I do believe, yeah, Hampstead, Southamptonshire, Beaconsfield. They have lost almost pretty much at this point the capital. This is London here. They've lost the capital to Labour and the Lib Dems. Like, this is something the Tories should have realized years ago that they were going to lose, and that they've done nothing about it. But anyway, back to this. Some questions. Oran Knight, Ball Hatman. Parliament is different in the fact that I don't think he will be able to get away with the antics that he's got up to as an MEP. I think he'd be a very disruptive element, though. Yeah, there is no way he would be able to pull any kind. There is no way he will be able to pull any kind of the antics that he's pulled as an MEP. You are 100% right about that. And like I say, the big thing is his expenses are now open to the public. Any income, any extra income he receives, donations or anything like that, will have to be made public. I think, you know what I think is going to be the thing that takes out Nigel Farage? I think he is going to receive a significant donation from someone. He's not going to end up reporting it. I have a strange feeling, I'll put the call in for maybe a future video. I have a very strange feeling that will be a future call video. But if he does get in, I think that's what will take him out. I think that's what will get him. I really do think that's what will end up getting him. Bakura, so do you think that Farage will waste a lot of Parliament's time? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, Bakura. He's going to waste Parliament's time non-stop. And if you want any evidence, just go look how he's acted as an MEP in Europe. Never once did he contribute anything to committees, to hearings, to meetings, anything like that of the sort. He is going to stand there, and I think, bear in mind, filibustering is not a thing. Filibustering is not a thing in our parliament. There are rules, but you can filibuster in some situations. I think in some situations, Farage is going to try and filibuster Westminster, and everyone's going to look like, what the hell's going on here? Because trust me, Farage is going to try and eat up as much time as he can. It is going to be a massive platform for him. It is going to be a massive platform for him. So he is absolutely going to waste, I don't know how many hours of Parliament's time. Someone should keep an official an official watch, honestly, of it. It would be quite entertaining to know when he finally leaves. This is how much time Nigel Farage wasted in pointless diatribes. Would not surprise me in the least. Yeah, Jane Lockwood. Yeah, he only does things for attention. He's a raging narcissist. Exactly. Exactly. Exactly on that. Of course, the most burning question is the whole GE is whose live stream will we be watching? Well, you know what? You know what you should do? Open all the live streams and then just switch between them every so often. Just switch between them. Just mute who you're not watching and then watch who you want to watch. At that particular time, and just switch through them all throughout the evening. It's going to be fun. Yeah, it's if only said it's only said platform, pardon me, came with a hidden trapdoor underneath it. Well, maybe, who knows? Maybe we can get one put in. Maybe we can get one put in. It's only a matter of time. Let's zoom out a bit. Hang on, is that? Oh no, there's Brighton Pavilion. It's interesting at the moment because some of these maps, the Greens are going to get 2 seats, but they can't make their mind up in a lot of these places if the Greens are going to keep Brighton Pavilion. That has been something that has been played out in a lot of polls. Will they keep Brighton Pavilion? We'll see what happens. But I think losing Caroline Lucas in that seat is going to damage them very, very much. I think the only reason they might keep it is because she was campaigning for them on that. So these are our MRP voting intentions. So central estimation, they think at the moment 39% of the vote goes to Labour, 22% goes to Conservative, 15 goes to Reform, 12 goes to Lib Dem, 7 to Green, 3 to the SNP, 1 to Plaid Cymru, and 2 to the others. We'll see what happens. We'll see how right that is on the night, or maybe the day after on this. This is, of course, the seat predictions. Of course, the lower bound put the Tories on 78, which again would be fantastic to see if that happened. Here we are, some seats on the knife edge. Because there are, I think, this is the other thing I think we're going to see as well. A lot of seats on a knife edge. I do agree with that. There are going to be some seats where every single vote is going to count. Really, really do. Thank you very much, Cavaland, for your super sticker. Thank you very much for your support. Bakura, I may be paranoid, but I still get worried about not enough people will turn out and the Tories just get in. I wouldn't worry about this at this point, Bakura. You're seeing enough data in the polls here. It's over. It really is. And I think the first after poll, 10 o'clock, I think it is. I'm probably going to start streaming about tomorrow, 9:30, 9:45, 10, something like that. And the first poll will be out at 10. And we will see what the exit polls are. If it's bad, if these exit polls come out and it's really bad for the Tories, you may see Rishi Sunak concede almost instantaneously that they have lost the election. And that would be fun to watch. But we are potentially expecting the first results after about 12 o'clock, maybe a bit later. That is because not only are the boundary changes, so there's going to be, logistical challenges, of course, for this first election to make sure that all the votes get to where they're going. Some seats have become bigger. So that is going to be a logistical challenge for some constituencies. But we are expecting so far the first results just after 12 o'clock in the in the early hours of Friday morning of it. And one of the things we're going to be watching for is the swing. Watch for the swing in the seats. How much was there a swing to Labour? If that end up repeating, remember, they only need 12, 13% swings in some of these seats, and they have that majority. So watch for these swings, even if it's like a knife edge seat and like the Conservatives win by like a couple of hundred votes. Watch the swing, because that means that can then be repeated in other seats nearby it, which might mean the Conservatives lose those seats and Labour wins them. So don't be too dismayed if that does happen. And I do think that could happen a few times tomorrow. It'll be very disappointing. I will be there with you on that. It will be very disappointing, but I do think we will see a couple very, very closely fought seats tomorrow evening. Very closely fought. Yep, Craig, if it's going to be near neck and neck with the Tories and Lib Dems, we need to find a few Labour MPs who like adventure parks and bungee jumping and get them to join the Lib Dems. We'll see. But yeah, what an interesting general election campaign the Lib Dems have had. what an interesting general election campaign they've had. Jane Lockwood, yeah, people are fired up. They've truly had enough. Yep, that's what I've seen and heard from people I know that have been canvassing. That's the feeling that they get as well. And like I say, yesterday, I don't know if you heard the news about Miriam Cates backing that weird church in Sheffield. Yeah, that hasn't gone down too well in Penistone and Stocksbridge. So she's definitely going to be losing her seat tomorrow, and hopefully she's gone for good. Because thank God. Thank God I'm not in Penistone and Stocksbridge, because Jesus Christ, it would be a nightmare to have her as your MP. Gary Arnold, yeah, tomorrow history will be made. Absolutely. Absolutely for you. The D&D version of voting, rolling at one while voting, and your pen in your pen using your ink fires its ink backwards right into your eyes, and you fall over. Yeah, that is a very natural one thing to happen. One angry pagan. Yep. Hopefully, after a few years with the Tories not in power, our societies might actually start to progress again. It's not just economical. There, let me put my teeth in. It's not just economical stagnation we're suffering on, but societal stagnation too. Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of stuff that happens. Just not having the Tories in, it's honestly going to be quite a nice revelation on a number of things. It really, really is. Really is. LUD Games, good evening to you, Bakura. Even though it's projected to be a Labour win, I think John Curtis has said that its projected voter turnout won't be as big as normal. Again, I hope not, but we'll see. Voter turnout is going to be important, but I think the Tories have had it. I think the voters that are going to turn out are going to be turning out because they ain't going to be voting for the Tories. That's for certain. Thought processing. What is the chance that the Tories will actually win? I will admit feeling very nervous, like it is just too good to be true. You know what? Have a look at all these polls. The fact that all these polls are predicting big majorities. This ain't like 92. This is not going to end up like 1992. Well, famous last words. 1992 was predicting a Labour majority, and Labour taking power. Obviously, they did not. At the last week of the polls, the Conservatives managed to turn it around. That has not happened. The Tories have had scandals, gaffes after gaffes, the whole D-Day thing. There has been enough stuff to really completely and absolutely bury the Tory party, like 110%. Like, they are gone after this. Like, they are gone. They ain't surviving this general election. And if they do somehow survive, well, Jesus Christ, that will be the biggest, political comeback in history. But how on earth people would do that and why they would do that, I don't know. But there you go. Yeah, I'm hoping that we get a generation that remembers all the consequences of the Tory tax-cutting promises. Oh, absolutely. That is absolutely going to happen. I think the Tories are going to be out of power for a decade, if not more. And it's going to be very, very painful for them. Like I say, if you've seen my Suella Braverman video just recently, if not, go watch it. It's very good. Look at the civil war that is breaking out. And of course, tomorrow we get Daniel Hanan's turn at the wheel. And oh boy, what a weirdo. Like I say, go watch that video tomorrow. It'll be fun. Oh. Michael Warner, I think even if it kills me, I will get my X in that box, even if I have to crawl. Yeah. Take part in one of the most historic elections there ever was. Oh, night. I think if the Tories get another 5 years, it'll get violent, and I'm not entirely opposed to that idea. Oh, if the Tories somehow manage to get another 5 years, how are they going to turn it around? Because I'll tell you what, they ain't going to win the next one. It will have to deal with them for another 5 years, but Jesus Christ, they ain't going to win the next one. Because the Tory infighting is still going to be there. All the confusion, everything that has been plaguing them. They are going to be just a completely ungovernable party. And they ain't going to have a majority. It will be an incredibly slim majority if they do manage to hold on. If not, they'll go into coalition with someone. Who are they going to go into coalition with? No one, because no one wants to go into coalition with them. We'll end up having another general election. But anyway. Yeah, Cavaland, completely agree. Yep, enough is enough. Booting the Tories out of the office is long overdue. Exactly. Helen Wilkes, 1992 was horrible to experience, but 1997 was brilliant. When Portillo lost, both lost my mum, and both ran out of our rooms to do a little dance. Oren Knight, Ball Hatman. My parents both in the 70s, both Conservative voters and ex-military are voting Labour. Not being able to attend funerals killed them inside and completely sealed the deal. Yep. COVID still having very, very big effects on the Conservative Party, still having massive effects on them. They have not recovered from that still. Hopefully the YouGov poll is right. 212. We'll see. Like I say, we'll see tomorrow. Yeah. I wonder who Starmer will make Minister for Common Sense. I wonder who will get that job. I'm not gonna lie, that is probably a cabinet position that will not exist, and thank God that it will not exist. The last poll I read informed me that they're going to be pretty good odds that come Friday, Sunak is going to be lined up to be the ball boy at Emma Raducanu's third round match at Wimbledon. Would not surprise me. would not surprise me. Ben Ridings, good evening to you as well. Curtis has the Tory seat range as 50 to 150. Yeah, that is the highest I've seen it. 150 is the highest I've seen a lot of these polls put it. I think, like I say, I will say this tomorrow. I think my prediction, Tory seats, the highest they will win will probably be like 120. The lowest I think they will win will be 80. I think they're going to win somewhere around there. That's where it's going to end up being, I think. Will the Tory party split into factions? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, they will split into factions. I have been teasing you a long time about this Tory civil war. And trust me, Suella Braverman just fired the first shot today. She fired the first shot today in a Times piece. Not the Times piece, the Telegraph piece she wrote by saying, yep, it's over. We're lost. And she puts all the blame on Rishi Sunak. First shot fired. And Friday and this coming weekend, it's going to be full. It's going to be full of either that or you're going to get articles like we're going to cover with Daniel Hanan tomorrow on tomorrow's 12 o'clock video. Why did we lose? Why did we lose? What possibly made us lose? I keep on saying it. They are incapable of like introspection, retrospection, just looking at themselves and like thinking, what went wrong? What really went wrong? It's the Principal Seymour Skinner sketch. Is it me that's out of touch, or is it the children? No, it must be the children. They're going to be like that for a decade, if not more. And oh boy, is it going to be fun to watch? Yeah, we can't cope with any more Tory incompetent government. They killed in COVID, no more. Yeah, I think that's going to be it. David Walker, are you doing live streaming tomorrow night, Ollie? Yes, I will be. Time-wise, I'm not 100% sure when I'll start. So I'll probably start between maybe 9:30, maybe 9:45, something like that. But I'll be starting before 10 because 10 o'clock is when we are expecting the first lot of exit polls to drop tomorrow. So that's the first thing that we go over, or we'll be waiting for those. And then we'll probably enter into waiting time for results. Oh. Yeah, Jane Lockwood. Plus, if Trump gets in, we need sense on this side of the Atlantic to survive. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Vendetta, I really don't remember the 92 election. I wasn't really politically aware. Neither was I. I was 1, 2 at the time of the 92 election. So I don't remember the 92 election, but it's worth bringing up about a matter of overconfidence, because there was an absolute sense of overconfidence, and the Tories at that time made absolute mincemeat of the Labour tax plans. Oh, hang on. We've had another super chat. Thank you very much. Evan Okar. Thank you very much for your super chat there. The Tories will completely split and the moderates will go to the Lib Dems. Absolutely. They absolutely will. And especially if Nigel Farage, if they are mad enough, if they completely lose their senses and go, oh, you know what? We're going to allow Nigel Farage into the party, which means he will then take over the party, because of course he's going to try that. The moderates are going to leave, and they are either A, going to join the Lib Dems, or they might go start their own party. So that could split the Tory party even more. Honestly, the next couple of years are going to be insane. Gary Arnold, how long am I going to stream on Thursday night? I'm going to go as long as we can. Gonna go as long as I can. Last time the local elections, if you remember, I went to like 2:30 in the morning. And like I say, that was practice for a general election stream. So I'm certainly gonna have a power nap before we start. I am gonna have some alcohol, not too much, because that will make me drowsy. I will not last the night if I start drinking. But yes, we are going to go for as long as we can. If not, then what we might do is we might get to a point, stop streaming, and then maybe come back in the early hours of the morning and start all over again. We'll see what happens. We'll see if I can make it through. But honestly, I think it's going to be it's going to be an interesting evening. The Tories have had factions, and now they're more on the right. As the Tories' now strength has been a united front in order to gain power. Do you think that strength has finally gone? Oh, absolutely. That strength went. You know, I said under Boris Johnson that Boris Johnson was like a wallpaper, where you're trying to paper over a crack in the wall. The crack's still there. You can't get rid of it, but you've wallpapered over it. That isn't itself only going to last so long. So it's gonna be messy. It's going to be absolutely messy. It's gonna be brutal, and I'll tell you what, they are going to go to war. I've been telling you for the past couple of years that they are ready. They are in the trenches. They have been sharpening their bayonets, and they are ready to go over the top. And today, Suella Braverman has fired the first shot of the Tory civil war. Make no mistake, if you read that piece, you will see just how messy. Or if you don't want to, go watch my video on it. You know? It is going to be messy. It is going to be incredibly messy. The Lib Dems seem very decent to me. I'm not politically astute, but they seem way better than the Tories. They are way better than the Tories. Absolutely. Again, don't agree everything with politically than the Lib Dems, but hey, they're better than the Tories. Far more progressive than the Tories as well. This is why it would be amazing to see them if they made and fulfilled that opportunity to become the main party of opposition. If that happened, my word, things would radically change in the UK if that happened. Radically changed. Colin Thompson, what food is recommended while watching for the returns? I don't know. I'm going to go on a snack run tomorrow. I'm recommending some drumstick squishums because they are absolutely fantastic. They are just so Moorish. I might have to get a couple of packs because honestly, I open one and I'm just like, hum. I just eat them through all through that. So we might need maybe like 2 or 3 packs to see me through the night. Yep. The Tories won't be able to blame Labour when the results come in. Oh, they'll find a way, I'm sure. Someone will find a way. Someone somewhere, some Tory will find a way to do that, Cavalan. Don't worry on that. They will absolutely do that. Oh. Michael Warner, good evening to you. I want Starmer to dance a jig when Sunak loses his seat. Oh my. If you missed it earlier, by the way, it has been reported by The Guardian that Rishi Sunak has said to his inner circle that he is worried about losing his seat. Not gonna lie, if that happens, it's over. It's over. If the Tories lose Richmond and Northallerton, it's over for them. Massively on that front. Yeah. It was all Sue Gray. She counted wrong. That's me. Belzeroth, I'm going to have to order a very big takeaway and munch on it throughout the night. Got snacks, beer, and gin as well. This is it. If I drink, it's only going to keep me, awake for so long. Because once I start to get drowsy, alcohol just makes me even more drowsier. So it will just send me to sleep. So I will be drinking on the night as well, but I won't be drinking too much because otherwise I won't last the night, or at least I won't last until we get to see some of the more exciting results come in. I should have gone to Costco for munchies. It's like going to Valhalla. Maybe. I don't know. Well, the closest places to me is there's Tesco, so I'm gonna have to go to Tesco's tomorrow and see what they've got. Yeah, chat will watch you sleep, which is weird. That will be really weird. That will be really weird. Countdown to power. I'm completely teetotal, but it will be hard to resist raising a glass tomorrow. Oh, I think it will. I really think it will. I think there'll be a lot of people celebrating honestly tomorrow. There will be a lot of people honestly celebrating a lot tomorrow. That I can guarantee you for that. But let's have a look at some more maps while we're here. So we're going to have a look at the general election nowcast. So this is what they're. Hang on. This is what they're predicting. This is what the map they're looking at looks like. And they've got this one, Wevern Valley, potentially going to the Greens. But they've also got North Herefordshire as well, also going to the Greens. So we'll see. But you'll notice. Oh no, Brighton Pavilion, they hold it. And of course, still surrounded by Bristol Central. And I'll tell you what, if the Greens manage to get 4 seats, yeah, people are going to accuse me of green bashing, but once people actually start to look at the Green Party, they're really going to have to get their act together, like ship shape, because the Green Party has a lot of problems that we've talked about on this channel that they like to deny. But unfortunately, it's true. Like I say, bear in mind, do we want to talk about, what happened in Sheffield and how that messed up Majid's run at potentially winning that seat in Sheffield? You don't hear the Greens talk about Sheffield a lot. They used to quite a number of years ago, but after sort of the infighting started up there, they've stopped talking about it. Too much blue on the map. Yep. What do you think the chances of the Tories of being the third largest party? We'll see tomorrow. It would be amazing. It would be amazing if the Lib Dems could pull it off. It really, really could be amazing if it does get pulled off tomorrow. if they can do that, because that will change so much. And we'll see what happens. But it's not likely to happen, but it could happen. It's not likely. It's not 50%. I'd say it's in the region of about 30% chance of happening. So it could happen depending on how we go. But you're looking at the polls now. The Conservatives still the second largest seat here. But we'll find out. Do you think the postal vote for Ascot will harm the Tories more than Labour? Very likely. You are right. You are right. The postal voting could hurt the Tories a lot more than Labour because it is old people who do traditionally use postal votes to vote. So if that happens, it will hurt the it will hurt them more. Will hurt them a lot more. El Mastro. In Northern Ireland, I've heard Sinn Féin, who don't sit at all in Westminster, are now standing down in favour of other progressive candidates. Oh, God, I hope they are. That would be amazing if they did that. Who's actually winning? Hold on a second. Who's winning? Yeah. Oh, no, it's still Sinn Féin hold here. DUP, UUP, SDLP, all hold, all gain. Honestly, Northern Ireland doesn't look like it's going to change very much at all. Apart from the UUP potentially gaining that seat, doesn't look like it's going to change at all. What's this? Surely SDLP hold. Who's that? Who's the SPKR? Oh, of course, Lindsay Hoyle. Oh, yes, Speaker. Yeah, that's something else that's going to change as well. Now with the Labour majority, Lindsay Hoyle likely not to keep his speakership. Likely not to keep his speakership. Very likely not to keep his speakership if that happens. I was like, what's that? What's that black spot there? There's no party. Oh, it's a speakership. This is the little hex map. Bear in mind, this was the 2019. Just look at the change. I know there's people saying, "Oh, there's too much blue," but this is 2019. This was 2019. This is now. There is a lot to change. Again, look at this one. This was 2019. Big difference. Big difference. Remember, that's what 2019 looked like. This is what is being predicted for this. So, you might say there's still too much blue, but not as much blue as there used to be. Not as much blue as there used to be. Labour gains in Scotland. Yeah, that's been predicted for a while now. All these potentially Labour wins. I think there's even a Lib Dem win up here as well. Yeah, Lib Dem gain there. Edinburgh West, no, that's Lib Dem holding that. Lib Dem gain there as well. The only one they're going to keep is this. 2019 unknown change seat. Who's running in that seat? Oh, it doesn't tell you. That's annoying. But yeah, a lot of Labour gains in Scotland. A lot of Labour gains in Scotland. And of course, this is what we're looking at. For them, they're predicting 404. Totally. It's not an internet error, guys. It's not an internet error. It's a serious. It's a serious one. It's a serious one. Yeah, so Labour again predicting 404 for here. Conservatives are predicted 98. Lib Dems 76. SNP 16. Greens 4. Plaid Cymru 4. And yeah. So that's that. And again, that's what 2019 looked like. This is what we could have by the end of this week. That is a substantial change. That is a very, very big substantial change. Yeah, 440, not 404. That's true as well. Thought Labour inquiries might trigger by-elections. That's potential. Yeah, Reform don't show up on this, I think. Oh no, they're predicting 2 seats. They are there. So they're predicting 2 seats for this one. Coalition build it. They don't need to build a coalition because they'll have more than enough. But yep, that's Election Maps UK. So we've also got general election predictions. This is electoral calculus. They are predicting a Labour majority of 290. So, oh, hang on. Oh, yes, no, this is it. So they are, ooh, that's incredibly low. So they are predicting the amount of votes for the Conservatives at 19.9%, giving them a predicted score of 61. If you want the Lib Dems, by the way, for those of you saying, what would the Lib Dems look like for them to be third? This is what needs to happen for them to come in third. Or to be not to become, well, the Conservatives come in third and the Lib Dems to become the main party of opposition. This is what needs to happen. Like, this is what needs to happen. This is what would not need to happen for the Lib Dems to become the main party of opposition. Because at that point, they've got the most seats at 71 compared to 61. God, I hope that happens. I would love that to be the result. Very unlikely to happen. I still think the Conservatives are going to be, the opposition, but I think maybe there's a 30% chance of the Lib Dems taking it. But we'll find out tomorrow evening. We will all find out tomorrow evening what is going to happen. I love it. Possible probability of outcomes, predicting a 96% chance of a Labour majority. Probability of being the largest party, Labour, 100%. Oh. But yes, that is that is some more polls. I think Sky News. Someone said Sky News had got one. Let's have a look at that one. Let's have a look. Oh, I think they're just using the YouGov projection by the looks of it. Yeah, they are just using the YouGov. Yeah, they're just using the YouGov one, so it's not. It's nothing that we haven't seen, nothing that we haven't covered already. Yeah, we've seen all that from Sky News because they're using the. Although they are saying Miriam Kate's facing ejection in the Commons, so again, good news. Good news for that. But yes, yeah, that's a fair point as well. No more 1922 committee. There still will be a 1922 committee. That is part of the Tory party. Um, it just there just will be a brand new 1922 committee potentially. The Tories are going to have to sort of found that. Oh. Kirsten Cruz, Ball Hatman, what are the chances of PR within Labour? That will completely end the Tories. More likely than you think. More likely than you think. I know, obviously, Keir Starmer said he's not in favour of changing it, but you look at how much PR has been campaigned for. PR's time has come. And remember, tomorrow, you are not just electing, I want to remind you all, you are not just electing Keir Starmer. You are electing MPs who, if they are in favour of PR, could form a good block of people to push the party into adopting proportional representation. Probably not going to happen in this parliament. I don't think it will happen in this parliament, but next parliament, that's when it could happen. And that's what we've got to really, really work towards. And like I say, if you look at all the PR campaigners, that's what they're aiming for as well. Go follow Labour for PR. If you are in the Labour Party, go sign up with them, go join with them, help them campaign, get them doing good stuff at what they're doing. Like I say, that's how you get PR. But it's more likely than I think people think. Yeah. Actually, there might not be. It's backbenchers, and with the Tories in the 60s to 80s, everyone will be a shadow minister. I think constitutionally in the Tory party, they're still going to have a 1922 committee. Like I say, it's part of their it's all part of their mandate and charter. It's part of their internal party workings. So there will be some sort of 1922 committee. Might not be as big as it used to be, but it will still be there carrying out its functions, and of course, will play a major part in, of course, the Tory civil wars to come. Yeah, God, what might Fabricant end up being a shadow minister of? The shadow minister of hair. That is really, really it, you know. El Maestro, as much as I want it, I do feel that the Lib Dems leading the opposition will be a constitutional upheaval at Westminster. Oh, absolutely. Like that will bring in huge change if that happens. Huge change. We've just seen the poll. If that is tomorrow's result, if that's what we get, and that happens, and the Lib Dems become the main party of opposition, there will be huge, huge changes to come. Duke Vengeance, yep. The Shadow Minister of definitely not a toupee. Absolutely. Absolutely on that front. Oh. But we have been going for a fair amount of time now. Like I say, I did this sort of spur of the moment. So thank you very much, everyone, for coming and joining me this evening. Like I say, I will be live streaming tomorrow, but I know you are going to be spoilt for choice. So do feel free to come join me at some point tomorrow evening. Pop in, pop out, pop back in, whatever. You know, the kettle will always be on, as we say up in Yorkshire. So do come and join me tomorrow. I plan to start streaming maybe about 9:30, quarter to 10, something like that. Again, I don't know, haven't worked it out yet. But I need to plan my nap for tomorrow as well. If I'm going to last through, I'm absolutely going to need one of those. So I will see you tomorrow. Remember, guys, get out and vote. If you know anyone, do whatever you can, get them out to vote as well. Go with them to vote. Take them to vote. You know, drag them by hook or by crook to go out and vote. But before you do go, please do remember to click on the like and share button. Well, at least the like button before you go out. Do remember to leave a comment down below as well. It all helps with the algorithm. And of course, if you are new, hit the subscribe button. And of course, down below, there's a link to my Patreon page, the One Foundation link where you can buy me coffee and buy me coffee, the YouTube thank you button, and of course, there's the Pony Club you can join as well. We've just done our 99th Pony Club video, available to not only just the Pony Club members, but of course, the Patreon people as well. So if you support me on that, you will get access to those videos as well. And of course, next week, after tomorrow's live stream, we're going to have the first Good Morning Walk, probably recounting what happened, maybe the outpouring of the Tory civil war. And of course, the following Wednesday will be the 100th Pony Club video. So, you know, look out for that as well. Of course, only available to Patreon members and Pony Clubbers. So if you want to see that, you know what to do. So as always, thank you. Thank you so much. And like I say, get ready to party tomorrow, guys. I think it's going to be very, very good. And of course, as always, we'll see you all next time.